Good evening to all and welcome to the session. I will start the session with a question. Do you know that about 10% of the mains aspirants fail to clear the language paper? According to studies, about 10% of the mains aspirants fail to clear English compulsory paper every year. That is really surprising. Keeping that in mind, from now on, I'll be bringing regularly questions related to English compulsory paper. To begin with, I'm going to bring grammar based questions, and slowly I'll bring questions based on grammar, comprehension, and vocabulary. Today, I have brought 9 questions. First, I'll read the instructions. Many questions are based on grammar knowledge, basics of English grammar, general English especially, and a few are based on common errors. Rewrite the following sentences after making necessary corrections. Do not make unnecessary changes in the original sentence. Here, 10 marks, 10 questions, 10 marks. But today I have brought 9 questions. We'll take one at a time. Every man, woman, and child were rescued. Whenever you read a sentence, you have to look at the subject and you have to look at the verb. Because in competitive exams, quite often they ask questions based on subject verb agreement. Here, you should have the ability to identify the subject, and based on the subject, you should know whether the verb is right or wrong. Here, every is a clue for you. When we say everyone, everybody, every man, every woman, and every child, we are talking about one person, singular. Based on that, we have to use a singular verb. Every man, every woman, and every child was rescued. We cannot use a plural verb. That is the error. And this question is based on subject verb agreement. No sooner I am out than the students make a noise. This is, if you're not aware of the rule, it is a tough one. But once you know the rule, it is easy. Whenever you come across words like no sooner, first you have to know the combination. No sooner takes the word than. Then we have words like hardly, scarcely, barely. All these words take the word when. That is one thing you have to check at the outset. No sooner than, no error. But these are negative words. When we begin a sentence with a negative word, the clause here should be in interrogative form. Then you may wonder, what is this interrogative form? If you take sentences, we have 3 types of sentences. One classification: affirmative, interrogative, negative. I teach English every day. That is affirmative, a statement. Do I teach English every day? That is a question, interrogative. I don't teach English every day. That is negative, opposite of a statement. Here, I am out. It is in affirmative, but it should be in interrogative. Based on that, there's an error here. No sooner am I out. I am out. That is affirmative. Am I out? That is interrogative. The clause should be in interrogative form. If you know the rule, easy, otherwise, not easy. Walk carefully lest you may not fall. Here, this is also very important. Once you know the rule, all these are easy. The clue for you, lest. Lest takes the helping verb should. That is a combination. You can remember. Next time you can easily spot the error. Lest should. Walk carefully lest you should fall. Walk carefully, otherwise, to prevent, you should fall. People use may. You cannot use may. If you use may, it is not correct. The patient died before the doctor arrived. This is based on tenses. Tense is an important topic when it comes to English grammar. I usually tell students, if you learn tenses, tenses are the key to English grammar. If you learn tenses well, you can easily master English grammar. And this question is based on past perfect tense use. Imagine there are 2 actions that happened in the past, one after the other. For the first action, we have to use past perfect. For the second action, we should use past tense. Here, the patient died, that is the first action. The doctor arrived, second action. And we have clues here, words like before, by the time, when, after. But here the first action is in past, it should be in past perfect. Based on that, the patient had died before the doctor arrived. I would like to give a practical example. Imagine last night the movie started at 9:30. You went to the theater at 9:45 and two actions in the past, one after the other. First action, movie started. Second action, you went to the theater. Then you have to say, the movie had started before I went to the theater. Then it is correct. Time and tide. Here we have two words and there's a conjunction. Two subjects, there's a conjunction. Sentence is in present tense, affirmative. Then we should not use add s or es to the verb. So, what is the correct sentence? Time and tide wait for none. But actually, English has rules, English has exceptions. If you take slow and steady, even here we have two words and there's a conjunction. But English people consider these two one unit. Based on that, we have to say slow and steady wins the race, not win. They've given this many a time. Another example, bread and butter. Bread and butter, two units, but they consider one unit. Based on that, bread and butter are his favorite breakfast. Wrong. Bread and butter is his favorite breakfast. Question number six. Into what kind of mess have you got me into? This is based on what I call redundancy. Redundancy means unnecessary use of words. A lot of people say he has returned back. Wrong. Return means to come back. You should not say he has returned back. He has returned. That is enough. Same way here, into two times not correct. And here this should be the capital letter. What kind of mess have you got me into? Here, some students may think it should be gotten. Old English, we would say gotten. Now, got, nothing wrong. What kind of mess have you got me into? That is correct. Question number seven, I have already given the rule. Hardly. Then you have to check the combination. I said hardly, barely, scarcely. They take the combination word when. There's one more error here. He had stepped out. This is affirmative. Wrong. It should be in interrogative. Based on that, hardly had he stepped out. Both you have to check. Hardly had he stepped out when it began to rain. That sentence is correct. Either of the five dancers will dance tonight. When we use either, neither, you can say either, neither. We use these when we talk about two persons or two things. Here we are talking about more than two. Then we cannot use either. We have to say any one of the five dancers will dance tonight. Then it is correct. Question number nine, again, not easy under pressure. My client was neither aware nor party to the plot. Here, party means related to the plot, involved in the plot. Party to the plot, nothing wrong with this preposition, but my client was neither aware. If you take the word aware, it takes a preposition of. Two different prepositions you have to mention. Without of, the sentence is wrong. So, what is the correct sentence? My client was neither aware of the plot nor party to the plot. When we combine, my client was neither aware of nor party to the plot. Then the sentence is correct. These are the questions, and from tomorrow I'll be bringing questions keeping in mind CSAT English based questions. Nowadays, CSAT also slowly they're making it tough, and also compulsory paper. Every day, a few questions based on initially previous year's papers. Slowly, I'll bring questions from the Hindu and other important publications, editorials. And once you practice every day, regularly, a few questions, CSAT point of view, compulsory paper point of view, in the long run, it is going to help. And when you face the actual exam, you will be able to answer many questions effortlessly. That's all for today. Thank you very much.